Hello everyone, and welcome to another stream from your friendly neighborhood streamer, Yentra. And today we have at the expo to check out some ships from RSI, and I'm pretty excited about RSI. Welcome to the stream, Captain Holter. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yeah, so we're that's kind of the game plan. We're gonna go check that out, and we might do a little ship swapping here. I kind of have a big decision to make today, and that is, do I want the RSI Scorpius? I've flown that ship when it first came out, and I loved it, but I never bought it. And I have enough unwanted ships in my hangar right now that I've melted, and I've got the store credit just kind of waiting there to see if that's something I pick up. Now, I'm not sure, so I think I'm gonna go fly it. That's kind of the first thing I want to do, is just give it a nice little run, because if I don't get that, then I've got some credits, some store credit kind of eating a bit of a hole in my pocket, and I might pick up a few kind of other things. Just notice that needs to be claimed. So we're going to go to the expo. I think I'm at Hurl L1 right now. So we can take anything we want, but I think I might use this as a chance to take our rescue Pisces. Your insurance claim has been sent. And we're not going to be streaming for what ended up being almost 8 hours yesterday. So it's gonna be a short one in terms of that, because I do have some plans that I want to do later on today. Hey Moonraker, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're gonna hit the expo. We're gonna check that out. I think I'm gonna give myself sort of a buyer's decision deadline. I'm going to fly the Scorpius and see if it's something I really kind of want. Now, I'm not a big PvP fighter. I very rarely do it. And usually when I do, I kind of want to do that as a group. So that's what appeals to me, to have the Scorpius. However, the Gladius is fun, and I like flying that, and it's considerably cheaper than the Scorpius. So really just kind of have to make that part of the decision making. So we're going to get to the expo. We're going to definitely rent the Scorpius, take it out for a little bit, and see if it's worth. Because I'm more than content with the Gladius. It'll serve me pretty well. And I might kind of the other things that I'm interested in. We took the Starfarer out yesterday, and I was kind of looking around, looking at the different things, and if you buy the Vulcan, the Starfarer is the loaner. Now the Vulcan really interests me. That's the refuel, repair, restock. It's a landing pad of a ship. So you get to do that. Now, of course, that's in concept. So I wouldn't get to fly that, but that looks pretty cool to me. And I would have the Starfarer as a loner, which was kind of fun yesterday. Obviously, it isn't perfect, but it is pretty cool. So I wouldn't mind having a Starfarer as a loner until the ship I really wanted came out. So lots of decisions to make, but first things first, we need to find ourselves into the showroom floor here. You may ask my age. I'm okay telling you that I'm in my mid-40s. That is how old I am. That's pretty close to the amount of detail, personal information. Yeah, I'm in my mid-40s, and I really have been kind of an on and off gamer my entire life. Really kind of playing more arcade style games, and when the first person shooter games came out, I think the first one I remember that was really popular was Quake, and that's when I discovered I can't play first person shooters. Hey Krusty, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yeah, that's kind of when I discovered the very first PvP game I'm aware of where I tried to play. I really wanted to play. It was Quake, and I remember, in fact, it was so popular where I was at the time that a lot of people were playing it. It really took off, and I tried to play it, and I got totally sick. I could not play that game, which really did, kind of upset me, because it was actually it lived in this very small town at the time, and kind of give you a sense of the age. It was when cable modems became kind of a thing, and that was the first broadband. So what was interesting about that is, of course, you all know now, but having increased bandwidth when your opponents are all playing dial-up gives you a huge advantage. And I lived in a town. There was a good friend of mine, and he got into Quake. He tried to get me to get into it as well. And like I said, I tried and failed. But he ended up really getting into that game, and he was in like the top 10 players nationwide, because as it turned out, this little rinky-dink town that I happened to live in, they were very, very progressive with technology, and they it was one of the only cities, or one of the first cities in the United States to have two sets of infrastructure for like bandwidth for cable modems. We had kind of a small utility company, and they were concerned that they were going to be bought out by AT&T, and AT&T put down all this infrastructure and said, you guys can have it, but we're going to eventually own your local utility. And the city got together and said, hey, well, if we raise our taxes by X amount, whatever, we could put our own fiber network down and provide our own broadband. And that's what the city decided to do. And we became, like I said, one of the first cities in the United States to have two. We had an option. You could choose which broadband provider you wanted. And the speeds of broadband at that time were phenomenal. Huge jump up, obviously, from dial-up. But what was, as you probably know by now, but broadband, cable modems in cable broadband, by the way, it's kind of a finite amount of bandwidth. but it's provided kind of, at that time, you had all the bandwidth until your neighbor signed on, and then you had a little bit less, and it was a shared bandwidth across everybody in the city. And so there were just a few of us who were, pushing the tech, and the rest of the city went around and agreed to it, and it was a city of around 3,000. And so I had just some of the best bandwidth for a reasonable amount of money, because I bought from the local provider. So it was a great time to be online. And of course now I get better speeds, but at that time, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And playing online games was a new thing, but I just couldn't get into it. So not for lack of interest. So games like this are kind of more my speed, where I can dial it down a little bit, and I'm slowly inching my way to FPS and PvP, but that's a gradual progression. And so the question that I've told myself as it relates to Star Citizen is, I really don't need 6 fighters. I didn't have 6 fighters, but I don't really need an Arrow, an Eclipse. I just don't need those ships. So I took a look at my hangar, and I'm like, I really like the Gladius, and that could just be my one fighter ship. I could fly around in that. That's fine. So yeah, I got rid of a couple of fighters, because what I was trying to do is have, the Eclipse is an example where I thought, okay, if I have a huge advantage over somebody else, then I've got a shot at being okay at PvP. That was kind of my thinking. Like, if I have torpedoes, at least I can get my rep up and start to practice and get interested in it. Because no one likes losing 30 times in a row, right? So if I get a good ship, so that was my thinking with that. But of course, that kind of got nerfed, and it's, once you get rid of the torpedoes in the Eclipse, that's pretty much the end of the game for the person in the Eclipse. And of course, as I've learned, the pilot is more important than the ship itself. So why spend $300 on a ship that is just repeat death experience for me? So I do plan on doing more PvP and FPS for sure, but I still want to play the game, so I'm going to be doing other things. And so anything other than those 2 activities are things that I kind of like to jump in and go for it. Yeah, so Krusty, we're about the same age then. Yeah, so I think it was kind of interesting. And so coming from that, like, just appreciating the graphics of a game, and the gameplay, the immersion, those are really important to me, because I grew up where that just wasn't, it was part of the game, but it wasn't as immersive as these games are. So I think Star Citizen really hits a sweet spot for me. I can fly a ship, I can bounce around, I can do whatever whatever I want. Yeah. Renting a so Krusty says he rented a Vanguard Sentinel to try some bounties, and it felt a little bit like overkill. Yeah, I agree, and I felt like that's kind of what the Eclipse was for me. I also had a Crusader Inferno, the Inferno, and I got that. I shot that weapon, and it was awesome. It's cool, but I'm just not that elite. I'm not that good at PvP yet. So yeah, you kind of want to play, have the ships for the gameplay that you know how to play now, and then only have a few, maybe buy them in game, or You know, that's what I was thinking. Like, I bought the Gladius in game, and I don't need to spend real money for that until I, you know, get better. Then of course I'll start looking at some better ships. But I think the Gladius kind of hits a sweet spot for me because it's not a super expensive ship. I could buy it with the store credit I have, but maybe I want to try something else. So once again, we are... Microtech isn't this space station... not Microtech, New Babbage. They're not great here. Their spaceport is not great at assigning landing pads here or assigning hangars. Let's try to reach out to them before they reach out to me. Okay, well that was good. There we go, good. Yeah, we're in the Pisces right now.
Landing gear deployed.
LucasArts made some great games. Yeah, they did. I played a few of the Star Wars games too. But where I kind of, you know, got away from gaming is because of the fact that as soon as like PC gaming really took off, you know, I had a Mac. I didn't have a PC. So I was really kind of left behind. And in fact, I bought the PC I own now to play Star Citizen. Literally the first PC I've ever owned to play this game. And but before that, I played other games through Steam, which is available. But if you know, kind of Macs are really not known for gaming. A lot of that started when the Mac was just underpowered. PCs were less expensive, and you could really use a PC for gaming because it was, you know, you got more power for the dollar. And of course, Macs are very expensive. However, right now, it's in today's state. You know, of course, Macs still have that reputation of not being a gaming computer, but they are... Oh, look, we're out of power. That's what happens when that doesn't work. But now I think we're in a case where it's more a legacy reputation that Apple needs to overcome because I can verify that after I bought my gaming PC, I emulated Windows on
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
my other machine, my Mac, and yeah, it was a smoother experience than native on the PC. If you can believe that. Now, what is this? That's just that. Okay. I always like to pick up free gifts. If somebody's dropping something on the floor, I'll take it. So. Yeah, and Krusty, that is the case. With the landing at New Babbage, you really have to get up and close. And in fact, if you are too far away and you call for a landing, you'll get that request has already been fulfilled loop, and you won't get your marker, and you'll just have to guess which one was supposed to be yours. At least that's been my experience. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited to check out the RSI ships. Now, I do have the Constellation Andromeda. I'm trying to think of what other RSI ship I have. Just made the train. But the Scorpius right now is the one that's kind of tempting me to check out. I remember a couple of times playing because it was made available in Invictus Week and just before Invictus Week. And I think they let subscribers fly it. So I had it for a while, and I flew it. I loved it. It's great. And I almost bought it. And then I didn't. And then there's been a couple of times since then where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had that ship. So, that's kind of a signal that maybe I would have used that ship more than the other fighters. But again, looking at the Scorpius, kind of one of the things that I actually like about it is just that I could have another person in there help me. Because I think as I get better, it's going to have to be, somebody kind of guiding me, which is fine. A lot of people have offered to help me, and I really appreciate that, and will. But having somebody kind of, oh no, we got ourselves a 30K. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and do the traditional 30K restart, and I'll be right back. Just a tight, guys, and I'll be right back. And we are back. And we are back at New Babbage, so that just is a minor inconvenience. A minor disruption. Yeah, I do love New Babbage. I'm curious what everyone thinks about, their home. I had New Babbage first in the game. when I first started playing the game, and only recently, the last patch, I think, I switched to Area 18. But New Babbage has been home for a while, and I just realized I stopped coming here. You know, I did a lot of the mining, and that's all on the other side of the verse. So, you know, it's not worth having to fly back here to pick up a new ship or store all my stuff here. And if you're a subscriber, you get new items at your home, wherever your home spawn is. And of course, for me, flying all the way back here to pick up a plushie toy or something seemed a little excessive. So I finally switched to Area 18. I briefly thought about Lorville, but because that is right in the center of everything. But boy, do I not like Lorville. So, you know, did not want to be there. And then, of course, Crusader. That is a nice option, but the Atmo. So, through process of elimination, Area 18 became my home, and I kind of like it there. It is nice. It's a short hop, you know, wherever I happen to be. It is a short hop. Okay, so I am curious. Do I get up on the first stop? I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. When coming from here, I think it is the first stop. I should know this by now. I've been here every single day except for Thursday, which I took off for the holiday. And I believe tomorrow is the Best in Show. So that'll be the winner of the Best in Show, which is, I think is the Carrick had won. Let that guy go through, and yeah, we picked right. So let's head into the expo and check out the RSI ships. Just one more day. Just one more day left. At some point, maybe on my way out, I do want to maybe pick up some swag or something here. Yeah, there's our schedule. So today we'll see the MISC ships there, and of course RSI, and then tomorrow is Best in Show, and I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as well. So RSI is on the Apex Hall. I kind of like the way they did this. They alternated different halls. I think that's super smart. That way they can do 2 days per manufacturer and not have to, you know, obviously move the ships around. And you get to go check out what, you know, yesterday provided. So you don't have to go every day. You could go every other day and still see all the ships first person. There's the playing video. We might check that out a little bit. And here we are, RSI, a bunch of constellations there to greet us. Let's go check the map out. Oh, there's somebody checking that out. I really wish they had the NPCs not standing here. They're always in the way. Okay, so we've got in the center hall where we are. I've got the constellations, the Andromeda, the Aquila, the Taurus, and the Phoenix. And if I remember this correctly, the only one I'm not 100% sure is the Aquila, which I think might be search data. I don't know. Andromeda, of course, is the gunship. Phoenix, I believe, is the luxury, and the Taurus is the hauling cargo. So we got the Mantis and the Scorpius. Mantis, of course, known for its interdiction capabilities. Very, very cool gameplay there. And then we got the Auroras, which are really popular as a starter ship, although I think they're going to kind of lose their luster with what we're what we're seeing, the new starter ship from Drake, I think is going to take away some of the competition or compete quite well with the Aurora. So we got all those flanking another Mantis, I guess. So they're going to be showing the Mantis twice. That's a little odd. And then downstairs, looks like we've got the Apollo, the Galaxy, the Polaris, and the Perseus. Okay, so we're going to check those all out. Should be pretty straightforward. Most of them are going to be these variants, but we're going to go in and make sure I've got the variants correct. Now, I briefly thought about getting a Mantis as well, because I think it would be fun. All the constellations, I did not want to do that. This is the Andromeda. I have this ship. Maybe we'll take this out today, because I kind of like taking the ships out that are showing. This is just a great all-around ship. It's got a bay there. It'll load an Ursa rover. And it has room for a snub fighter in the back, which should be there. And I brought I love the lighting in here, by the way, when the ship is off. All of the constellations have the same bridge, same cockpit area. Some give away one of these two turrets. There's a bottom and a top turret, all from accessed here. I'll just take a peek at those. We don't have to go into them, but captain and two co-pilot chairs flanking. A lot of criticism about the visibility. These struts or support structure here of the ship kind of gets in the way of visibility, and you end up really kind of fighting that when you're looking. I'll go ahead and show you. But I will tell you, as an owner of this ship, and I fly this ship quite a bit, you do get used to it. And it is a little, inconvenient, but that's about all it is. You still can see quite a bit, even with the struts. It only becomes annoying when your target is hitting those center two beams, and if they took those away completely, it would be as good as just about any fighter. And in one variant, they did adjust the cockpit. I think, I'm not sure exactly which one it is. It's either the Taurus or the Phoenix, maybe? We'll find out. So that's the elevator I came up in. Kind of a hab area here, which is really kind of cool. There's a table that doesn't work anymore, but it used to. So they need to do a gold pass on this ship for sure. And this will be a seating area with a table that I appreciate the fact that it, kind of stows away like a camper. Space is limited, so they're giving you more purpose if they can store it away. A little bathroom area here. Now, I'm not sure if the bathroom works. Doesn't look like it does. So again, this is kind of, this ship was being developed, and it's I think it has already had one pass on it, because it's a ship that's been around for a long time. Couple of beds here, escape pod beds. There's 4 in total, so you can bed log here. Now we're in the cargo area, which is deployed, and I just took an in. Somehow that injured me, just standing there. But now we're up here, kind of in the catwalk. There's a portal here, which I would assume airlock here, which would be for locking into other ships. There's one on the opposing side. This is a symmetrical ship, so everything on one side is shown on the other. This bay is pretty nice. Like I said, it'll fit an Ursa rover. Won't fit a tank, but it will fit a rover and just about anything else there. And also, one of the nice things, one of the reasons why I started using this ship is not all of these bays in the ships count as being in the ship. And if you're looting and you've got a bunch of bodies, security bodies, or, you know, Ninetales bodies or whatever, you can just put them right here on the bay. You can leave the bay down, and they are counted as being in the ship, and you can transfer all of their things to ship inventory right while you're down there, and never have to bring them into the ship or, you know, deploy and retract that bay door. Now this is I believe in the Taurus, this becomes storage, and I think this is storage in the Andromeda as well. I could be wrong about that, but this little small room serves really no purpose other than storage. And now we're in the back of the ship, and here's your snub fighter. This is, of course, you can have 2 snub fighters. The Merlin, what is the name of the other one? Let's get into this one to see. The Merlin comes with the Andromeda, and of course that just buckles right down in the back of the ship. It's so convenient to have this. It's basically you're buying 2 ships for the price of 1. And I believe the other one, I will remember the name. We'll go check it out. But you see how the nose of the Merlin is just pointing towards that collar, just above it, just ahead of it. The other one is longer, and it does fit its nose in there. And it's a little bit more... it costs a little bit more, and I think it has more weaponry than the Merlin does. But just a nice, you know, like all the gameplay you can have with this ship. Multiple people, multiple turrets. You can do some storage. Cargo hauling if you want. It's known for its gun. You know, you definitely have some weaponry here. It doesn't fly, you know, great. It is a bit of a pig, but it's manageable. And I love taking this ship out with a couple of people, and we do bounties. Help, you know, that's how I get my rep up. So I have this Andromeda, and it is the gun ship of the variants. It does have some VTOL. I think these things, when the landing gear, I'm not sure if those rotate, actually, now that it's... Oh, actually, what's really cool with its VTOL is these open up. And these are VTOL engines. So they're kind of locked away and protected until you go into VTOL mode. It's kind of a cool animation when that happens. And kind of similar to the C2 or the Hercules line, there's no landing gear on the front part of the ship. However, the landing gear on these constellations is far better. See all that track really stabilizes the ship, and there's enough landing gear to stabilize the front of the ship from the nose dipping down. So really kind of a cool ship. I think Chris Roberts, this is his famous, favored ship. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if it still is, but at one point it certainly was. So this is the Aquila. And we'll do the same thing. Now the fronts of these are all the same. And I'm not somebody who usually owns, all the variants of the same ship. So I picked the Constellation Andromeda and I stuck with that. Same cockpit, same lighting, same table, same here in this section. And the bay is the same. And if I'm correct... Okay, so yeah, this does have a snub fighter as well. I'm going to pop in there because I think this is the other snub fighter. Let's find out. No, it's a Merlin as well. Okay, so I think the difference between this one is you lose one of the turrets. So you still get your snub fighter. And I'll go back and read the descriptions which share its focus. But this looks like the same bay area. But let's go double check in the front section. So you do have one of those, but there's an upper turret too. So let me see. Yeah, it looks like this is... One of these has an upper turret that has a scanner. And this might be that variant. Oh, that was weird. Okay, I guess that's not working. Try to switch my camera angle here, but I think this is not a gun turret. We'll find out. Oh, looks like there were some guns there, but I don't know. We'll check that out. Okay, I'm stuck. There we go. Got unstuck. So pretty fast exit on all these. It's kind of just pop out of the bridge area and down the ladder you go, or down the elevator you go. So let's go check out, because I don't want to leave everybody hanging here. Yeah, expedition. So yeah, this is... Oh, yeah, and so this actually has the redesigned cockpit. Let's go in there real quick and show you that, because I kind of skipped over that. So if you remember the Andromeda, I was talking about the obstructed view, but take a look at this. Yeah, see how much different that is. The struts are a little different. We'll pop in the seat so you can see it from first person perspective. But yeah, you definitely get a little bit more viewing here, and you do lose one of these turrets. I think it's the top one. It's a scanning turret. So if you're looking for something that's in game, and you don't want to lose a turret, the gameplay for this ship isn't really here, and you may choose the Andromeda over this one, like I did, for that reason. Redesign, you still see these things in the way. They just kind of reconfigured the center ones so that they're lower, and they're not at your target, but kind of close. See where my crosshairs are, and it's harder to see the turrets, or the struts in this particular, the framing here. So this has been redesigned. I think the others might get this cockpit as well, but they needed a reason to distinguish this one, and I think they decided to redo the cockpit visibility just to make this a little bit more sellable. It is the only one of the entire variant line of the constellations that has that redesigned cockpit. We're going to stay on those, and we'll skip past the Mantis and the Scorpius. And this, of course, is the Phoenix. This will be the luxury variant. Just double check my work here. Yep, it's for touring. And you'll see it still has the same front cockpit. And I think of all the luxury ships and variants, this one is the most forced. Because you get this really kind of techno vibe here. Struts and, not quite Drake exposed ductwork or anything like that, but just enough it's utilitarian. And then you get this basic hab area. But then you lose the bay, and you get this module, which is really a little bit more luxury than the rest of the ship, which is fine. You can see the details on the flooring, and you've got a couple of staterooms here on either side of the ship. And you do get this nice kind of like seated area for transport. Your guests can, kind of sit and watch something here. There's 2 more over here. Plenty of seating. There's 2 more, another set of chairs there. And yeah, I should really have my light on, sorry. So a little bit more luxury, more viewing opportunities for them here. Of course, there's a bar. This bar has been replicated for the Star Citizen Weekly. I believe they call it the Only Constant. It's very similar to this bar. And yeah, maybe a nice little conference room table here. There's a spa, a whirlpool, but that is not functioning. I don't know if it ever did. But that's what this room will kind of be, multi-purpose. It can be a standing, dance floor or something. And then it can turn into a spa. Another stateroom. And in the back, you still have access to this small room, which is a little bit of storage for you. And then you get this snub fighter. Now, I believe this is the one I couldn't remember the name of. And I'll remember it as soon as I jump in. I'm sure, but if not. The Archimedes. Yeah, the P-72 Archimedes. I didn't remember it in time. I had to do that. So let me see if I can take a look at the Archimedes. No, I guess I was wrong about it being longer, because I thought the nose of that ship was going to hit that collar, that docking collar there, but it doesn't look like it does. It's locked in there great. Quantum with this thing and everything. It's just there along for the ride. This has some more weaponry you can see. Those look like size 1 repeaters. So this is a pretty good option if you want to go the luxury route. You do still get a bay. And that's below us here. And you kind of have to see there's another elevator in the floor that'll take us down. And the bay itself, which I'm looking at right here, it's the same dimensions, but it's shorter. So I don't know if an Ursa will fit in here or not. But the height constraint is the only constraint. And you lose quite a bit of cargo. But you don't have that catwalk around here, which would be up here in the Andromeda. So you lose a little bit. But I kind of like the fact that this bay is kind of tucked away. You still get some storage. So you're not totally sacrificing a lot of the luxury variants. They'll take away all the storage and to add another floor, for example. But in this one, they didn't do that. Used to be that you touch the ground there, but yeah, and then even the paneling goes back to its original, finished look. So this is kind of a cool ship. There's another player in here, or an NPC. You just happen to wander in here. You can buy this ship, I believe, in game. And I want to say it's at Lorville. That's my thinking. It's on display at Lorville. And again, kind of heading back into the hab area. So that's a Phoenix. Not bad. It still has the old structure in the cockpit. So you're not getting any more visibility there. But again, I think when they do another pass on all of these, they'll probably standardize the front, and I would be willing to bet they may even come up with a third version that has even more visibility, just make it all glass or something, like they're doing with the other RSI, more modern RSI ships. An example being, of course, the Scorpius, which we're going to go check out in just a bit. So this is the Taurus, and this is going to be the freight or cargo hauling. And right away, you know, this is what you get. We'll pop up here. And again, the front of the ship of this is the same as the other three. Roughly without the glass. Same table, same bathroom, storage. Same cargo bay. And so this is kind of the big thing with the Andromeda. You basically have the same cargo bay size as it's exactly the same size as the Andromeda. Never pointed this out, but there are some missiles here for missile storage, but that's cosmetic. They don't deplete. But this particular variant, this is storage as well, like the others, but this is also storage. So you lose your snub fighter for, 4 SCU. Could be more than that, could be 8. But I think it's 4. So you get a little bump in storage. I obviously do not find that bit of storage. To me, trading that bit of storage is not going to be a deal breaker. So I'd rather have the ship back there. And so this is kind of the middle of the road and also not really worth it option. You know, similar to like I think the M2 and the Hercules line, like get an A2, right? It's right in the middle. Now, of course, if you have the ship and, you know, because you never intend to take the snub fighter out, great. You know, that's probably a better ship for you, and we can all sort of agree which ships we like. Don't mean to detract from this ship if this is the kind of your favorite one. But they all are all the same, except for the weaponry and loadouts, and you lose that snub fighter. And of course, this one is an Explorer, so it has the least weaponry, weapons of all of them, including the fact that you're losing a snub fighter. All for that little extra cargo. So not as cool as you might think, if you're trying to decide. Of course, this is the Mantis. Now, it seems to be that for whatever reason, this is on display twice. So we'll check this one out. And of course, interdiction, that's its kind of big claim to fame. Now, I've never seen that open before. But it has a little lift here. We'll go in. I don't know why you'd open that canopy. I guess to get out. I don't see a button, though. Oh, okay, it's up here. They have been moving some buttons around, so I don't know if this has always been here or if I just missed it. Mantis is kind of a cool ship. Kind of known for the one thing that it does. I didn't know it even had a bed, but it does. That's kind of cool. That's all. This is kind of all you get. And again, I didn't know that that front canopy even opened up. Or is that just invisible glass? Okay, yeah, that is glass. Okay, yeah, just the angle made it look like it was open. See that? But that's all glass. Speaking of what we were just talking about, you know, the RSI now is kind of removing those in other ships. This is a newer ship in relation to the Andromeda series, so, or the Constellation series. So maybe that's what the new front of the Constellation will look like. I think a lot of people would be very happy to see that change. Again, not much here. You're flying this ship to... Oh, I keep doing that because I think I'm in a constellation. You fly this ship to stop other ships from flying away. And you're going to need some buddies to do that. And speaking of buddies, let's take a look at the Scorpius. Again, all glass front cockpit, so hopefully that's a foreshadowing for what we're going to see in the gold pass of these. Because I really think that would be great. I've said that enough. This is, of course, the famed X-Wing fighter. And I believe you get in over to the side here. Is that right? I don't see any access, but yeah. This is a two-seater. You have a pilot and a co-pilot. And you can enter either the gunner seat or the pilot seat this way. Let's pop into the pilot seat. I'm going to be renting this for sure and flying it. Of course, it has this unmanned turret on a track. So this is the backwards facing version. And then it'll pop up onto the top of the ship. So you get kind of more of a streamlined fighter. I think actually that's kind of a nice feature to have that thing pop down. As we're going to be starting to get into a world where these fighters are going to be loaded up on other ships. I think we're going to appreciate the extra clearance we might get with that turret in its rear position. And of course with the wings back. That's the whole point of a ship that articulates its wings, is that you can store more of them on larger capital ships, right? So I think these, although they're really for, you know, kind of the fun right now, they do have a very, very practical purpose. Imagine a carrier just having a bunch of these loaded up, and then they can all take off and expand the wings and deploy the turret. So we're gonna be renting this and flying it today. So I'm gonna definitely look at that closer once we do that. We're gonna look at this now. I love the cockpit of this as well. Just two MFDs there. Of course, that was not the Mantis. That was the Scorpius. That notification comes up a little late. Looks the 4 missiles on each side here, and then the weaponry on the tip of the wings here. These are gimbaled, I believe. Yeah, so we're going to take that out for sure. Just want to check to see what is the other room that's opened up. Let's go check the map. I think it's off to the left. Is that right? No, to the right. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go check out the Auroras, and apparently there's another Mantis there on display. over here on in room 2. Of course, in the real world, I wouldn't be running to the room, but you know, might be considered a little rude, right? So these are the Aurora. Yeah, and there's just another mantis sitting in here. Which is, I think, the first time I've ever seen the same ship repeated. I'm just going to check this. Yeah. That surprises me, actually, that they would do that. Now, I do not know all the different variants of the Aurora, so we're going to definitely rely on our signage here. So I know that they have like a light fighter. They've got even a luxury variant of this thing. So obviously this is the light fighter variant, the LN. And I'm assuming it has more weapons. That would be the most logical conclusion. I think they're all the same inside. I guess you can open either one of these side panels. They're kind of very similar to like a docking collar, which kind of makes me think that might be an advantage this ship has. A little bed in the back there, a room for, 2 or 3 boxes back here if you want to do some box missions. This is a very popular starter ship, so I'm sure you guys have seen it. But if you haven't, yeah, like I said, I think the Drake Cutter is really going to compete with this guy. All of these starters, for the most part. Let's check this one out. We're going to go through them all. So this is the MR. It is also a light fighter. Okay. We'll peek in there. Does it have a bed? Looks like it does. Yeah, okay. So this is the LX, the Pathfinder. So is this is sort of more the luxury. Let's go inside. See what luxury means to RSI. Looks pretty similar. I bet the bed is a little nicer maybe. No. Some trim lighting and accent lighting. Not much of an interior here for this ship, but so let's head to the other side of the Mantis. Check out these other Aurora variants. Another Pathfinder, the ES. Okay. So its feature is it can be upgraded. Maybe I will pop in this to see if there's any difference between the interiors. I think these are very similar ships, and they maybe made a few too many variants of this. But I guess, since this was a very popular starter ship, my guess is they wanted to give people some variety, so they're not all using the same Aurora. Start to make choices. The last Aurora. There we go. Light freight. So this is more for cargo. Now, I don't think there's any cargo. There's definitely no cargo down here or anything, is there? Oh, I think this is where the cargo goes. It gets stored in the belly. Because there's definitely no more room in here, I bet. Oh, I activated the other door. That's how thin this ship is. You can, from the outside, activate the opposing door. Yeah, this very much same. Yeah, so I think that's probably what you get with the Aurora. Never had this ship, never flew this ship. I've got it actually, I think one of the ships that I purchased, the loaner, is this. But I've never actually flown it. Yeah, the external cargo. I don't know if it has an access to external cargo or if it's just literally meant to be that rail down there. But yeah. Yeah, I think that, like I said, the cutter, yeah, is really going to be the replacement for the Aurora. I think it single-handedly is a better all-around ship than any of the variants of the Aurora. So maybe they'll do something with it, or maybe, you know, some people might like the style and go with this anyway. All right, we're going to head back to the main room. I'm going to make sure I rent that Scorpius, and then we'll head downstairs. Yeah, there was like boxes on the belly of that. Now, I'm also tempted to just rent some, maybe the Phoenix as well. I don't think this is that, is it? Just to you know, spend more time in that interior. And then, of course, I want to rent... Oops, this guy. And yeah, there is a... Is this the... I thought there was like... I know there's like a storage on this as well. But we'll go play around with it. Most of the fighters that I know of storage, it's in the back. It's hard to inspect this and play around with where it might be with that big rent hitbox. But I thought it would give me a clue, and that looked like in the front, because I think there's a gun rack. To look at that before we pull this out. But yeah, if you see, there's a box here. That's access. Yeah, this is the... I believe this is a gun rack, if I'm not mistaken. I'll leave it there. Okay, so we rented that. Got both of those. Now we just gotta head downstairs. Oh, this guy stopped me dead in my tracks because I was just gonna jump the rail here, but boy, he messed that up for me. Really slow NPC. And of course, really a favorite land vehicle of mine, the Ursa Rover. And I'm just curious, there's not two variants of this, are there? Yeah, there's the Explorer, and I guess this must be the weapon version. I don't have this version. Excuse me. Oh no, that's just the... Okay, yeah, that's just the turret. In the up position or power position. I thought there was only one variant of this. I was surprised when I saw one with a gun and one without, but that's just because this one has the gun powered down in the down position. So it'll be over here on the side. And there it is. Yeah. Which is a nice feature of this thing, by the way. Allows you to fit this into some vehicles because it can do that. Doesn't look like there's anything here. So we're just going to go check. Yeah. So now we're going to head into the other area where we'll see the models. The Triage, the Polaris, the Galaxy, and the Perseus. Oh, Gutierrez. Man, what is my favorite manufacturer? That's a great question. I think, if I'm being honest, and welcome to the stream, by the way. If I'm being honest, I think I like Origin. And then probably number 2 would be Crusader. And number 3 would be a tie between... It'd probably be Drake. I would say number 3 would be Drake. Just looking at the ships that are actually in my hangar, I have to be... I just find myself looking at the Origin ships. So this is the Perseus. In concept. Yeah, I think RSI is going to really... okay, so this, I want to make sure I'm clear. Yes, okay. This is the gunship. I think some of the ships that RSI will be coming out with are going to really jump into some interesting gameplay and really start to shape that company into something that's a little bit more in line with the other ship manufacturers. So RSI is one of the older ones, and they have some of the older ships, and they're the least playable, right, because of that. The Galaxy. Yep, so there'll be some variants here of that. Oh yeah, I was gonna point this out. Like, if you do buy the Galaxy in concept, you will get okay, there. I was looking that up. A Carrack. You'll get a Carrack if you buy the Galaxy. And I think the Perseus, they get you'll get a Hammerhead, a Vanguard, Harbinger. So Perseus was the... And again, I really wish they would program the NPCs to just not be... Don't be standing at a sign, because that literally... I know it's great, but they tend to hang out at these signs, and then what's the point of putting up a sign? Because I can't read it sideways, so I gotta push this person out of the way. Yeah, the focus is Corvette. Yeah, I can't read that with him in the way. Yeah, I just can't read it. So that is the Polaris. Now, if you get a Polaris, you'll get a Hamburg. Oh, yeah, it looks like you get the Hammerhead, the Vanguard Harbinger for the Polaris as a loaner ship. The Apollo Triage. And this is medical. Yeah, I mean, it's in the name. So the Apollo, you get a Cutlass Red. That's the loaner ship for this guy. And there's a couple of Apollo variants. They look pretty cool. It's hard to, it's hard to judge scale because I think this is significantly smaller than the other ones we were looking at. And there we are. We've seen all the concepts. We've seen all of the RSI offerings. Pretty cool. Hey, Mordred. Good to see you. Doing a short run today. I think we're going to end up flying this Scorpius while I have it. We'll see how far we go from there. We just ran through the entire conference, the expo. And yeah, I think RSI is kind of, I look at this as a ship manufacturer that due to the timing, these ships still kind of hold up. They're classics. But if you look at their more modern day offerings, it starts to get pretty exciting. To see where they're going with this. The Mantis and the Scorpius being those two on display here. I think they're going to start... they're kind of in a mode where they're going to have a comeback. And then if they do another pass on these, which they plan on doing, I could really see them having a very solid lineup. It's a solid lineup right now. But again, you're playing with ships that are a little older in the game, so all the features aren't there. And but that's okay because a lot of the features that are in the other ships aren't playable features. None of us need a bathroom yet in game. So yeah, that's fair, Captain Holzer. I see that too. I don't think it's an attractive ship. I know some people just absolutely love it. I don't think it's an attractive ship. So there is our lineup there. RSI. And of course, we checked out the MISC ships yesterday, and tomorrow will be Best in Show, and I'll be streaming tomorrow. So we can do that, and then this thing will all be up and over after that. Yeah, I think, just like all these ships have, kind of some oddity to them, and you kind of love them because of that or don't. And that's the same with literally all the ships. But I agree with you. The Connie isn't something I would immediately say is a well-designed ship or even a ship that, I would say is an attractive ship. Hey, Space Bub, welcome to the stream. I caught the front end of your stream, and I had to bail because I've had a small window here. I will not be streaming for 8 hours today, just a few. And we're kind of wrapping into the last half, if not nearing the end here, because I just wanted to come here, check out the RSI offerings. I like those ships. No, there's no swag I really need to purchase. So what we're going to do next is I rented the Scorpius. and I'm going to take that out and kind of decide. So let's head to the comments. Captain, yeah, I know you're on the on the sea, so you're heading to Scotland on Monday. Okay, well, you will be missed, and definitely when you get back, whenever that may be, let's definitely connect. And I do want to tell you how much I appreciate all your support and being here and watching me stream at the odd hours of the night for your time. So I really appreciate that. And we'll see you when you get back, my friend. So thank you for being a great contributor to the chat and to the channel. I appreciate it. That's a good question. I think the ships will stay on sale for a week, but I could be wrong about that. I think that's the only way to make it fair for like the RSI ships. But I could be wrong. I think it could also all end on Monday. I don't know the answer to that, Krusty. Is my screen blank right now? You're talking about my streaming? SpacePub? Because I definitely see myself streaming. Oh, what screen? Oh, the elevator screen. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I confused. Yeah, that elevator screen I think is blank. I'm not gonna go back there. But let me just. Yeah, I gotta go. This is the two stop.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
So we'll take the train, hit the station, fly ourselves to someplace we can take the Scorpius out and fly around for a little bit. And yeah, so I've got a buying decision here, and melted some ships this morning. Ones that I seriously, like last night, I took a hard look at the ships that I have in my hangar. Decided there's just some that don't need to be there for the type of gaming I'm doing. Made some decisions. Ooh, is this right? Do I want to go to the spaceport? No, I did that again. Okay, but yeah. So, oh, good. Yeah, because I'm literally watching my own stream here. So yeah, I think I've got some buying decisions to make, and I've got a couple of thoughts, and they're all a little bit different and strange from one another. So, but one of them is I pick up a Scorpius today, because. So what I was thinking is, and here's the thing, I melted a bunch of the fighters that I have. Because I had far too many fighters. And I'm looking at maybe the Vulcan. It's a concept, but it comes with Starfarer. But I really want a ship that will do refuel, repair, restock. So I could pick that up. That one's kind of the one that I think is the most interesting to me, just because the loaner ship is a Starfarer. So I know I could, have some fun with that ship. The other ones, let's see here. I've got these all open, so I could. I like the idea of the Gladius Valiant. I think I might get that, or just a stock Gladius. I don't know. That's kind of another one that's in and then what's the other one here? Looking at cargo, I don't own a Caterpillar. So Caterpillar is tempting, but I can just buy that in game. But I would like to do more cargo. So if I start doing more cargo, I'm going to start looking at the cargo ships, including the hull A. But I thought I might just buy the hull B and get the hull A as a loaner. So that, I'll get kind of an upgrade when that comes out, but still have something to do cargo with. Small cargo. I don't own a C2, and I do use that ship quite a bit. But honestly, I kind of like saving up for that ship because you need to do a bunch of mining and everything. So I'm thinking of the wipe. I'm thinking of 318 wipe, and I'm not going to need the C2 right away. I don't think. So, and I can earn, a ship. So those are the ones that are on my radar right now. But I may just pick up, if I don't like the Scorpius, or if I know I'm going to like it. But do I like it that much? Or should I just get a Gladius? Because I do like the Gladius. I love flying that. And how often am I going to have a buddy in the seat? And if I do, I can just use my Redeemer. Yeah, I have the C2 for cargo, but I bought it in game. But you have to do a bunch of mining before you really need to pull that ship out.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
So I know this isn't going to get me across the verse. So I'm going to take out our other favorite ship, the cutter. Yeah, and C2 is great for transport too. You can just load it up with a bunch of things. But I think those are all not day one gameplay things. It's kind of like with my kitchen. I have a rule when I buy kitchen appliances, like it has to do more than one thing. I'm not buying a waffle maker. I love waffles, but if it only makes waffles, it doesn't get a space in my kitchen. And the way I buy ships is, can I use it on day one, for whatever I like to do? Like what do I want to do on day one of a game? So I think I'm going to want a cargo. I'm going to want to mine, but I'm not going to be hauling big cargo or big things around. But the C2 is also very, very dear, close to being purchased. But yeah, I don't know. Star Runner, yes. Caterpillar, I don't own this ship, but it'd be kind of cool to do some cargo, and the Caterpillar would be enough to kind of keep me going. So. Yeah, I heard that the cutter, Captain Holder, I heard that the cutter fuel is actually a mistake, and they're gonna nerf that. That's what I heard. I think Jack Axton confirmed that when we were talking about it on his stream, and he's a pretty reliable source. So Hangar 3, we're gonna go. Oh, you know what I need to do before I even go there is just to verify. I forgot, when you rent a ship, it goes to your home, right? And I could definitely claim that, but... yeah, these are at Area 18. So I want to go to Area 18. We could use a trip. And the cutter will get us there. It gives us a good excuse to take the cutter. Hey, Squirrel. Welcome to the stream. You just missed the expo. Went through RSI. I know you did that earlier. Hangar 3. And now we've rented a Scorpius just so I can literally just fly that thing in atmosphere for a little bit. And I have buying decisions to make. And this could be a bit of a shorter stream. I might just do that one little run. Of course, still recuperating from my 8-hour marathon stream yesterday. Even my girlfriend's like, that was a long time. You were streaming for a long. I'm like, yeah, sorry. She's like, I was trying to be quiet. I hope they couldn't hear me. I'm like, nope, no one heard you. Oh, the cutter. Thanks, Squirrel. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it really short. I've got some plans that I have in about an hour or so. So I might, this might be a short one.
You are clear to launch.
Oh, I do like this ship. Extra cautious with the VTOL on all my ships now after my Reliant core. Yeah, I was looking at ships too, and I was wondering why I have the Reliant core, and it's because I bought the Expanse. The Expanse is in concept and comes with a prospect. The Prospector and the Reliant core are the loaners for that. So I was just curious why I had that. So that is definitely, I like that loaner, but I don't need two Prospectors. So, but I'm very, very, very tempted to pull the trigger on either the Scorpius, or I'm very seriously considering getting the Vulcan. The unreliant core. Yeah. Yeah, Captain. It is the unreliant core. Something I probably wouldn't buy, but I do, I appreciate that ship because it is a MISC ship. I have some house chores to do as well, Score Lord. Look at all those markers. CIG just sees dollar signs. I bet if you're a CIG player, all those markers heading into New Babbage are replaced with dollar signs. That's money, just money droving in there. Yeah, I really should just fly around the entire verse sometime, just because you can in this ship, and certainly want to do it before they take all of our fuel away. All right, let's put a little traveling music on, and check our bookmark camera angles, make sure everything's cool there. Oh yeah, let's start here. All right, little resting of the voice, and we'll put some music on while we travel to Microtech. Oh yeah, welcome. Have a good meal, Scorelord. I'm still at the point in the phase where I enjoy the leftovers, so we had leftovers again. Yeah, Krusty. New Babbage was my starter as well. And yeah, the first day of the conference of the expo, I think there were 30 players on that train. That was my count. And 30 players, I mean, that was almost the server max before the patch, right? 50. So yeah, it was just weird seeing all those people. It's died down a little bit, but yeah, it's weird to have reliably have more than a few guests or other players rather on the tram. And thanks for the offer, Scorelord. I think I'm going to keep it very short, so going to bypass the time it would take to sync up and get all that stuff going. This will be a shorter stream, so probably wrapping up in about... Well, as soon as we get Scorpius out, we'll make those calls, but thanks for the offer. Oh man, you guys are making me hungry talking about all this food. That's true, Krusty. This is the largest organized event that CIG does. Invictus is kind of its opposing event, where it's expo-like as well. But I think this is the larger of the two. More ships, more manufacturers on sale, ships on sale. So what do you guys think? Scorpius or Gladius? Which of the two do you think do you like the most if you've flown either of those two ships? Those are the very, drastically different ships. I know. But I know I love flying the Gladius. And I have some store credit eating a hole in my pocket, so it needs to go. It's doing no one good sitting in my account as a number on the RSI website. I need to buy some JPEGs. Gladius. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's, if I'm being honest, that's what I'm leaning towards, just because of my experience level, my current experience level, and just the dollar amount. But I want to fly the Scorpius for sure. Just get a sense of what that's all about, what it feels like. Yeah, but see, the thing is, you can buy the Gladius in game, right? And I only have a window of time here to buy the Scorpius. And I did regret not buying it more than a few times. So, I mean, eventually I could have both. I could buy, one in game. So that's kind of another thing, not choose and just buy both. But I'll only end up flying one of them, regularly, and the other one's going to sit in my hangar. I agree with the comments that Mordred made about, to fly any two-seater, solo, not great. Me too, Krusty. I'm waiting for my back-ordered bases, and I'm going to check them again after I stream, find out where the heck those things are. Because I would really like to have them. I want to get my stick setup going, and it has taken forever. I wish I could just have it already. I'm a patient man until it comes to waiting for an order, especially a back order. And Mordred, that's the other thought too. Like, trying to time this with like buying the ship that I need for the skill level that I am with the store credit that I have. Kind of trying to combine all those things. But I'm seriously thinking about pulling the trigger on the Vulcan, and that'll eat up some of my store credit. But I've got more. So we'll see. The Vanguard. Oh. Yeah, I was looking at the Vanguard as well. There she is. When I was first new to the game, I remember flying around Area 18 for what seemed like forever to find that. It's an easy thing to find if you know what you're looking for. But the space station and all of these main cities needs some lights. Yeah, so I think I think for me, it's easy. What I've come up with last night was like, okay, I gotta stop buying fighters. Because I had an Ion, I had an Inferno, I had a Eclipse, and I don't need all three of those. So those all got melted. I also had a Hawk. So I've had the fighters, and I have an Arrow given. See, it's like sort of a gift ship if you buy a mole or something. I don't know. So I have one of those. So I don't need that many fighters until I get better. Then I'll have an opinion about what's what. And I know, the Scorpius will be, if I don't have that by then, and that fits my role, great. But Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. Now, Mordred, Spacebub mentioned that he's melting some of his CCU ships and buying them back as straight up ships. Is there any... what's the advantage of doing that? Okay. I wish I could fly down here above the road there. Still not getting a marker. Yeah, definitely if you haven't checked out Mordred's buying guide, my answer, the question that I just asked is answered and more in there. It's very thorough. And I did read through it, but I need to give a deeper dive to that. Now I know I've called for landing a couple times now. So give me my marker. Yeah, I think the buyback's an annual thing, right? Okay. I mean, where is my marker? Let's just guess that they're going to give me one of these.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Okay. Almost chose the wrong. Didn't look right. Didn't look right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think so. I've got a bunch of CCU ships, and I'd like to clear them all out and buy them as standalone. Oh yeah, I'm kind of turned around here because it's a square hangar, so you come in not knowing where the front of it is.
Obey all security and customs personnel at all times. Their job is your safety.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Yeah, we didn't have to fly all the way here for this, but it just kind of helps. Because obviously I could have claimed these, but I think I'm interested in
Hello, and welcome
testing
to Rockford
them
Boarding
here.
Spaceport,
So,
servicing the greater Area 18 metropolitan area. We hope you have safe travels.
Vehicle
wherever
selected.
your final destination
Stand by.
may be.
oh, that's very generous, Mordred. Yeah, that's really cool. I have
Your vehicle has been delivered to the
a couple of decisions to make for sure.
For the latest travel information, be sure to check the departure and arrival boards conveniently located throughout the spaceport.
There she is. Kind of hard to deny that you would buy this. I mean, a lot of the fighters just look super cool, I'm going to be honest. And I mean, who doesn't dream of flying a fighter in space?
Enjoy the walk.
I mean, it is
Thank you.
hard to deny that this already is fun. Krusty, I think it does have external storage. And just, you know, I'll double check that when we get into, when we take this out of Area 18. Which we're going to do right away. Yeah, I'll take this to a mining station and park it and take a look at the exterior. It was difficult on the floor room floor to inspect the ship because the renting hit zone is so big it just gets in the way. We're gonna hit Walla. Yeah, of course. So yeah, this has a nice cockpit. Some control panels over here. Let me just see if any of these are hot. They don't appear to be, but actually they probably are. Let me just no, it doesn't look like they are. Self-destruct, none of that seems to be clickable. Which is strange because all those are things, self-destruct, these are all things in the ship. These two main MFDs, nothing on the top, just full-on view. And then some more panel over here. Again, some of these seem to be hot. But they don't seem to be working. My quantum drive is still on right now. Yeah, so just a ton of visibility. You're looking at a glass canopy, except for this lower portion. And there's even a pass-through, you see, down here. So if you had Moby glass, this is great visibility for that. Does have some loud engines. Gets to top speed pretty quickly. Yeah, I believe so. Just 2 MFDs. It is very nice. No, I think the cargo is back here towards those red lights. And that gun rack that we saw deploy is kind of near those green lights. I think it'll fit going this way. Yeah, let's check the lights out. It just looks like that center light. Let's take a look at them from the cockpit. Usually not very, not much. No, not much in the way of lights. They're on right now. Does have very responsive. Which on keyboard and mouse is can be challenging, right? Because I just barely tap and then I'm, you know, that's just a tap. Yeah, so that light is on, and that's it off. Not a lot of light. So I'd probably say no on that. But I do want to pop out. I want to look for that storage because I'm confident it has storage. But where? Usually in the fighters, they're in the back, like in the Ion and everything, they're in the back. But this is what I think is a gun rack. Oh no, this is a component. You know what I could have done is opened everything. Because I think these components, that's how you access them. This, I believe, is the gun rack. We'll leave that open. We'll just leave everything open as we explore. This is another component, I believe. Unless that's like some kind of storage box. Nope, that's just a component. So leave those open. Nice switches available, which is kind of nice. I think this could be storage. Let's see. Oh, power plants. Ooh. Even more. Just a ton of little buttons here. These all seem to be very much components, though. And I'm kind of stepping on the... we're getting knocked around here a little bit, so that's not me. I apologize. Yeah, there's that. So I'm not sure where the external storage is. Pretty sure I'm right about that, though, that there is external storage. Maybe it's all through the gun rack? I don't know. They also have this module access, which isn't clickable. I might be thinking of the Ion, but I want to say there's access. Puts that away. I think this is another component. There we go. There she is. So yeah, it is on the starboard side. And it's this first blue access button. And let's just put something in there. So yeah, 1,500,000 is the capacity. Which is nice, you know. I think it's nice to have external storage. Yeah, so this looks like the starboard side. There's a cockpit. Right past the landing gear, there's a spot right here. And let's just check the other side. The opposing side. Same thing. Now, I'm assuming that's the same storage. We could test that. So that's storage on the port side. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same external storage, just accessible on the starboard side. No. That's weird. So they're totally different? Yeah, so I've got the helmet in this one. And on the other side, I had that coat. And there it is. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So two 1,500 capacity. I'm at 1%. I wonder. That takes me down to 0%. So yeah, that's 1,500 on each side, a total of 3,000, right? If I'm doing that correctly. True crew, yeah, Krusty, yeah. Two crew, two storage, which is fine. I mean, it's external, right? So both crew members could access both of them. I'll close all those up when I get into the cockpit again. Oh, look at that. It's pretty dark. Pretty dark here. I'm going to pop in here and do just a little looting so I don't have to run out of water and food. Nothing to loot. Nothing to loot. Yeah, another thing that kind of came up yesterday when we were at the ship show, Space Pub's ship show, which is just kind of another thought I had, which is if I arrive at a mining station to loot because I need to drink some water, I could just spawn the Pisces, pop in the bed, store it. You know, it's not as fast as looting, but guaranteed some water, med pens, everything. You can literally just pop in here and restock. And in fact, you could fly somewhere else and reclaim it and restock and But for now, I'm going to do it the traditional way and try to do a little bit of looting. And then we're going to fly the Scorpius around a little bit. And try, as we can, see how it feels. See if it's something that's going to end up in my hangar or not. You can tell I've been looting here before and have not collected everything. Yeah, it would be great if the Pisces came with medgun, because if you put your medguns into the Pisces, and then you're constantly using that as a ship that you claim to get somewhere, you're going to lose everything you put in that ship. So, now I just looted that stuff. I'm not, no intention of putting it into the Scorpius, but yeah, just the 2 MFDs. But the trade-off, of course, is visibility, which I think is kind of manageable. And I believe you can also retract the wings. Let's see if that works. With the landing gear still up. Krusty, the only guard you have against your ship flying away is to turn the engines off. Which seems counterintuitive, but leaving the engines on for some reason makes them more susceptible to the wind. That's the Star Citizen's physics. That's not how real physics work. But that's what they want you to do. And if it still blows away, you could just be in a very, very windy moon, which is also Star Citizen physics and not real physics, because, as we've said many times in this channel, a moon's atmosphere is weaker than, say, Earth. And you can tell that the moon's atmosphere is weaker than the planets in Star Citizen, because when you jump, you look like a moon man and you fly up. And if you have a weak atmosphere, you also have less wind, has less force. That's how physics work. And so the winds in Star Citizen would never blow anything away, especially a ship, which would be lighter on the moon, but still have enough mass to stay put in the strongest of winds. This is where I really want some sticks, doing some actual low flying. Hey Drophammer, welcome to the stream. Short one here today. Just checking out the Scorpius and seeing if it's something that might end up in my hangar. No, sadly, Krusty, larger ships can blow away just like the smaller ones. It seems to be that they're putting heavy weight to the aerodynamics of the ship. So, for example, the Corsair, when its wings are up in the landing position, they act as sails. And that's a pretty, that's not a small ship. It's not the larger ships. Now, of course, your 890 jump is aerodynamic, and the wind will blow around it in all angles and not move it around as much, but it can shift around a little bit when it's in flight. But yeah, if your Cuddy is flying away, I would say it's the power down the engines. And there's going to be certain moons, like for example, right now we are on Walla, which has some winds. But Magda, and I'm just checking to sure I don't run into something. Magda is kind of known for its winds, and Ida, or Ida, depending on how you want to pronounce that, high winds there. So if you want, I can fly over to one of those, and it might just be a better test for how this flies in high winds, but... Yeah, and also, Krusty, the thing is, you can point the ship into the wind, but that doesn't help if the wind direction changes, but it's about the best you can do if you're in very, very high winds. Now, I'm flying pretty fast, but it doesn't feel fast because I'm not that low to the ground. So we'll push it a little bit. I'm not a low flyer. Yeah, I'm 1,000 meters. I'm up. By no means am I going to do some low flying today. That's about as low as I want to go. Let's just see how this thing does pivot. Yeah, it's pretty responsive. That's pretty cool. That were a target of mine. Oh, good. That's good to hear, Drophammer. Yeah, that is a very useful ship, the Pisces Bed. We were just talking about that earlier. I forgot that we upgraded the quantum drive. I should have tried to fly that. I think it can make it from Microtech to ArcCorp. Of course, the amount of flying that I do, I could do this in the Gladius. Yeah, I could see that, especially if you're trying to fight. But you do have a co-pilot. So if you have a co-pilot, they have. I believe they've got 2 MFDs, maybe more. We can check. Yeah, so I'm in wind right now. Engines off. That's about the best you can do. Leave the rest of your power on. And if you're in a kind of an, unfriendly zone, just power up your shields. And this is where the 2 MFDs really are limiting. I can't even see a power triangle by default. But I'm assuming you'd change this up. And you'd want your self status. But then that's about it, right? You could have your power triangle. Yeah, I agree too. It seems limiting, but let's pop out real quick. I'll go into the co-pilot seat. And theoretically, though, right? Like if you did have a co-pilot, they would be managing your power for you. That's one of the roles they might have if you offloaded the roles. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it's a little tricky. It's got to close and then I can... Let's enter the gunner seat. Just looking for power here. Maybe it is. I mean, there is power, but yeah, I guess you're in this mode, so you don't have any MFDs. Not letting me fire though, so maybe I didn't power it up. Should be power. It should be. So hitting F gets you out of that, but am I missing something here? Did I not? I mean, it looks like power. It says right there. And I can retract it. I wonder if it's because I'm not actually in the pilot seat, but I left the power on. I just turned the engines off, so. Interesting. I'm trying to fire. But maybe because I'm landed, I can't fire? Weapons seem to be off. So I like it. I like the two-seater aspect of it. I like the flying aspect of it. But I think the Gladius is going to win the day for me today, which is kind of what we all expected. But you got to try these things out for yourself. People give you opinions of ships, and sometimes those are strong opinions, and they're carried over from their experiences. But if you have an opportunity to check a ship out yourself, probably best to do that. And also, by the way, I'm sure you're aware of this, but the community is very supportive. And if there's a ship you're interested in trying, just pop over to the Discord and ask somebody, "Hey, do you own this ship? Can I test fly it?" Oh, you know what? I know exactly what the issue was. Is that I did have all my power to shields.
Landing gear raised. Weapons system is off. Weapons system is off.
So that's why the turret wouldn't fire. Okay, well, this has been fun. I'm going to yeah, like I think normally people would take it out and grab a mission, do a PvP mission. But that's not going to tell me what I want to know about flying the ship. I like it. It's responsive. It feels like the Gladius would also be just fine enough. All right, cool. Well, that was cool. You know what I'm actually going to do? Since she's a rental. We'll fly it back to the mining station. Actually, I was going to abandon it, but you know what? I'm not going to abandon it. I do like the look of this ship, and that's important. I can't say that that isn't a factor when I buy a ship. Some of the look of it. I like the deployable wings. I think they said they're going to fix the firing. Oh, it looks like did they just disable the firing when you're in that mode? Yeah, it looks like they did. Yeah, I know you used to be able to fire while your wings were in this configuration, but now, and for obvious reasons, it looks like you'd hit your ship for sure. So now weapons are disabled, which is fine. So we'll hit arc L1. I do like this ship, and I'm very sure that I will miss it if I don't have it. But I think it's still for me not where I am in the game. So, but yeah, if I always had a buddy who's like, we're partnering up all the time and we want to fly one ship, it'd be great. But I think the Gladius is the way to go. Yes, I think we're going to be wrapping up here, and Mordred, if you do have some time, want to take a look at my fleet and everything, that would be cool. But if you're available, if not, no big worries, because I think what I'm going to do is definitely going to make a decision here and pull the trigger on something. And Mordred, do you know if after today the ships are gone, or is it tomorrow, or do they extend it for a week, or?
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Oh, until the 1st. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I have some store credit that I think I want to eat up. But I also have some CCU chained ships, and I'm wondering, in fact, more than I thought I had, and I might want to get rid of those if there's an advantage to just have them purchased outright.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
So it includes the 1st. Yeah, I think you're right. That I would be willing to bet that that's the reason why. It's like, hey, people get paid on the 1st. Let's take one last look at this, just to say hi and goodbye. Yeah, I like it. But I think the Gladius is going to win the day. Hello? There's a Scorpius out there if you want to test fly it. Have a good day. Ooh. Oh, he's got the medical Pisces. Now, if I was sneaky, I could follow him in. But I'm not going to do that. There's no place to hide in the Pisces. I could have asked him, hey, could I top off? You know, I'm dying of thirst here. The thing that we joke about, but it is such a big thing, is with all these Pisces, there's now going to be an influx of med beds that are all there waiting to be used. Because the Cuddy Red, yeah, it was the most affordable med bed, but not everyone liked the Cuddy Red. And of course, not everyone likes the Pisces, but Pisces is an affordable med bed option. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? since I'm here.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have everything I need here. See, that Redeemer too is really kind of, that's if I have a bunch of people who want to go do some PvP, it's nice to have the Redeemer because that's multi crew. I have an arrow. You know, that's not even mine. That's just, I think it was given from a purchase. Maybe even the mole. I don't remember. But it's been there. So I have, you know, fighters that I don't need to buy. So I think it's a good thing to get this Gladius is purchasing game. So I really just have to look at the difference between the two Gladii and decide which one is the best one for me. There's a bomber variant, right? And then the standard. Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. Did I actually store this? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. So I do want to claim this.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
I really have no interest in buying the Phoenix. I just wanted to fly it. Because I do have an Andromeda, so... Yeah, and I'm not really sure about these Auroras. Obviously, they're bundled in here for some reason, but I never purchased them, so... I wish you could hide the ships that you know you're never going to fly, because it just is not necessary. Okay, so let me top off here. Speaking of the end of the month, we're going to be giving away another Drake Cutter at the end of the month, along with 1 million Alpha UECs. Check out the Discord if you're interested in participating in that. And there's another giveaway we want to help promote, which is Space Bubs. He's going to be giving away the Legionnaire, which is in concept, and I believe the ship that you'll end up getting... Let me just look that up, because there is a loaner ship for that. Yeah, the Legionnaire. Yeah, you get the Vanguard. What, the Hoplite? Is that how you pronounce that? So you get a Vanguard in your bunker or in your fleet. But he's giving another ship, which I think is the Gladius, the bomber one, the Valiant. And you can choose between one of the two. So check out Space Bub's channel and also his Discord, which I'm sure you all are aware of, but I put links in the description. I will for this and also for more others, because we want to help those who are trying to give away stuff, because they're doing it for a reason. And yeah, Space Bub, do you want to... I guess you can't drop a link in here for your giveaway, but I believe you said you're going to be doing that at the end of the month as well. Remind me of the date of that again. Is it the 29th that you're doing that, or... I should write that down. Yeah, I think he said the 29th, which is Tuesday. So if that's the right date, we'll get all those details for you as well. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Got some things to do today that they either get done today or they don't get done at all. I will be streaming tomorrow. Not sure about what time, kind of unscheduled time, but definitely going to check out the last day of the expo by which will be the Best in Show. And yeah, definitely check out Space Pub. In fact, since it's a matter of record, let me just drop the link in there real quick. I think that'll get you where you need to go. And all you have to do is pop into that channel and tap a button. He made it super easy. My giveaways are so complicated. I need to match your style. Yeah, just pop in there and it looks like there's, you know, a nice little group of people. There's 22 entries as of now. And yeah, I think I got that right? Yeah. So you have a choice between a standalone ship, a starter package. Oh, that was a poll that you did. I'm sorry. And so you're going to be giving away the Legionnaire or the Gladius Valiant. And we just said the Legionnaire, if you do end up winning and you get your choice, I believe. You just chime in if I'm saying something wrong here, Space Bob. But if let's say you choose a Legionnaire, then you're going to end up with the Vanguard hoplite in your hangar right away while you wait for your Legionnaire to arrive. So you will get a ship, but if your concept isn't your thing, then you can choose to take the Gladius right off of his hands. So I believe, yep, looking at the date, will be the 29th. And if I'm not mistaken, he said he's also, I think, considering doing that live on stream. So we might just join him and be there for the excitement, so we can simulcast and push everyone on his channel and get some winners announced, because it's pretty exciting when they're on stream and they win something. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Thank you all for being here. And I really do appreciate it. And yeah, Mordred, if you happen to be around, pop on my Discord and maybe we'll take a look at my fleet and you can give me some worldly advice. But if you're busy, no big worries. I do have a nice little hole being burned in my pocket, as I said. So I got some credits. I got some in-store credits to burn through. But yeah, it's going to be a blast doing that giveaway. And of course, we're going to do a giveaway too. See how it goes. You know, we might, I don't want to get cross streams with SpaceBub and his giveaway. But I'll probably be doing mine. We usually do ours at the end of the month, which would be the next day. So, but we'll definitely simulcast and stream and get some people in there and do a ship giveaway. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun giving a ship away. I'm really lucky, very fortunate to have been able to do that. And I know it gets a little addicting. It's like the best thing is to buy a ship for yourself, but you know, very close second is buying a ship for somebody else. Maybe that is number one. Yeah, I love giving away things. So we're gonna do a lot of giveaways. Again, appreciate everybody's time and energy being here. I'm Yentra. Love and appreciate you all, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.
Oh, we wildin', we drinking cherry wine and we dancing on an island. We going back the finest. Yeah, young Miss Tequila and call me señorita. Ay, papi, got me dreaming. My legs up on the ceiling. Oh, yeah. I know when he come, he ain't never gonna leave now. Hit it the night running, that's the way I wanna be. So don't think I'm the one to won't ever be enough. Mix until I know, bitch, I ain't the one. He don't want love. He just wanna fuck. Ow, little vacation. Drink it till we naked. Talking with our tongues. We just having fun.